Yeah, we are live, guys. So we're back to the second and final mentor session of the day. Yeah, it's been a long week, and now we have Alex with us all the way from Brazil. Early morning in Brazil for you guys. Good morning. But
Morning.
for us, it's afternoon. It's 1 p.m. in Frankfurt. It's 2 p.m. in Jerusalem, and it's 9 a.m. I believe in Brazil, isn't it? Or 10 a.m.
8 a.m. 8.
8 a.m.
8
Oh
here.
my God.
I'm still having my morning mate.
Very nice. Okay, so you have here now four mentors. I will ask to do a short round to introduce each mentor, and then let's get down to what Unilogin is all about. Dieter, please go ahead. Dieter, you're there. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Good morning, Alex. Happy to see you fresh in the morning in Brazil. So my name is Dieter. I'm standing in here with a combined, let me say, a background in ICT industry, in big industries, coming from enterprises, and also in combination with 15 years in startup environment, where I acted as a mentor, investor, advisor, mainly focusing on companies, helping companies who have businesses driven by software as a service kind of business model, which have proven back to me that in the end of the day, that is scalable. And in so far, happy to help with all the knowledge which I've gained in the last years and support you today. And as Ram always reminds me, yes, I have already invested in his program I guess it was in the program number 5 in one of the startups, which was a good thing, which is keep flying, quite good, decent. So look forward to your presentation.
Thank you, Dieter.
Good luck.
Yep. Next one is Thomas, and please take it away.
Hi, Alexander. Thomas from Frankfurt, downtown, looking outside, blue sky on the river. In my first life, I was consultant at Accenture, formerly known Arthur Andersen Consulting. After 20 years, been ending up as a partner there. I stepped out in 2003 into the startup business, investing all the money that I earned during my consulting time. I have co-founded, founded companies, invested as business angel, have been a managing director in several cases, and I'm also a mentor from day one on with RAM, with an accelerator in Berlin, and I also was part of setting up another accelerator in Frankfurt. I have my own portfolio of investments, about a dozen that I take care of, more or less. One is a major one called Ambutex, where I'm currently managing director and CFO. It keeps me busy all day round. And my expertise is a more generalistic one, so setting up companies, organizing companies, looking at the financials, developing business cases, business plans, looking at liquidity, asking unwanted questions to startups about their cases, to do a drill down, see if they have embraced what they want to do. This is what my expertise is. It's less a specialized expertise in like blockchain or so, but there are others who can do that better. So that's what you can expect from me. I'm 62, have a son, 3 grandchildren. My hobbies is flying helicopters, and as you see in the background, diving with or snorkeling, free diving with wild dolphins outside the coast of Mozambique.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Thomas. Jonathan, you're up.
Well, it's hard to follow that. I'm Jonathan Karras. I'm originally from outside of Washington, D.C., 37 years old, in Jerusalem, Israel now. My background is in computer engineering, software design. I built a video streaming, video messaging company in 2012 that gained 26 million subscribers. I started investing in the crypto space in 2016 and am now a partner at Lionschain Capital. I also do business development for Starkware and a few other of my portfolio companies. And my areas of expertise are really focused around creating a product that is going to grow to a massive audience, how to bridge the traditional fintech world to the blockchain world. And my hobbies include I'm a magician, and I read a lot of graphic novels, and I have 2 kids, a cat, and a rabbit.
Jonathan, the first time I met you, I think your app at the time had 26 million users
Yep.
at the time. So
So you have 2 kids, a cat and a rabbit, or is the cat and rabbit your 2 kids?
No, it's the kids are separate. So they're actually, the cat and the rabbit are my
Okay.
grandchildren. You can think of it.
awesome. So thank you very much. Carl, thank you for joining us from nearby Frankfurt. Go ahead.
Right, that's correct, Ram. Hi. Hi, Alex. I'm living in the neighborhood of Frankfurt in the city of Bad Homburg in the Frankfurt Rhine-Main area. And what I bring in is experience from the financial services industry. I once was responsible at AXA Insurance Company for the financial communications and for questions of qualitative risk management with Insolvency II. So I'm quite firm with questions on regulation. On the other side, I was then later on in politics and government. I was mayor and city treasurer in the city of Bad Homburg. And by today, I'm now principal of public finance at Capgemini. And they're responsible for doing consulting business for the ministries of finance in questions of digitalization in treasury and taxes, but also in questions of financial markets. So questions of blockchain, of big data, artificial intelligence are in scope of my consulting business. And so today I'm looking forward to hear more about your solution, which you will provide. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for the introduction. Alex, you have 3 finance strategic business people. You have 1 techie guy. And just for your information, mentors, so you know who you're talking to, Alex is one of the first team members of Ethereum, which is the leading blockchain in the world. Go ahead, Alex, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So thanks for the introduction, Ram. So I am indeed, I've been on the Ethereum space for a long time. I've been in the Ethereum space before it was launched. I believe just after the pre-sale, when they started hiring people, I was among like the third employee in FDev. And I was one of the first designers, just always focusing on user experience and how do we get like more normal people to use Ethereum. And so I launched the first Ethereum wallet that had a graphical interface. I launched the first Ethereum browser. It was really like the first concept, the first idea that was ever worked on of something that could be like could connect Ethereum to the what we call now the Web3. I helped launch the Ethereum naming service and a lot of help launch a lot of other standards that are still today used. And during that time, I had the privilege to be able to advise a lot of projects, and I could see that most projects had the same problems, and I was like, what's the next thing that we need to do in order to get like a broader audience, and it's outside this crypto space, it's outside the crypto, just outside just geeks and nerds. And whenever I would advise a project that was launching in Ethereum that was using that sort of public, they would always have the same problems. Things like, I don't want my users to have to use Ether. I don't want my users to, my users don't want to even think about Ether or gas price or cryptocurrencies, right? They just want to use something that uses blockchains transparently in the background. I don't want my users to, if my users lose a password or lose a key, I don't want that to be the end of everything. I don't want them to lose all their all their funds just because they forget to write down a passphrase, or just because they forgot like a very simple thing. And finally, they didn't want the users to have to download the thing, like download a Chrome extension or download a browser plugin, or have to download an iPhone app. And I really wanted a solution. We really wanted a solution that would just from your browser be able to create multiple copies of multiple keys in the browser and allow you to have access to an Ethereum account without having to think about anything else. And that's what really Unilogin is. Unilogin is a JavaScript library, but it's really like a key management library that does two things. For users, it allows the user to just start using Ethereum directly from the browser and to secure his and to use from not from his browser but from multiple devices, right? To use it from your browser, from your phone, from your iPad, and gain security from that. Every time you log in into different accounts, you should be more and more secure. And most importantly than that, Unilogin is also a solution that allows developers to just get that solution right, and just instead of having to spend a year building that sort of solution, it's a very simple library that allows developers to just get that focus, so that we can focus on onboarding users and they can focus on building whatever it is that they want to build. So that's really the short version of Unilogin is. So Rem, do you want me to show slides, videos? I can show you a quick demo so people can understand better, or we can jump to questions and have a conversation.
I'd love to see both. I'd love to see the slides. First thing that comes to mind is Portis, Fortmatic, Bitski, Ethereum. I'd love to know kind of what solution that you're solving that isn't currently being solved by those players in the market and more.
Oh, I have a good slide to show about that.
Don't forget, Alex, not everybody is at the level that you and Jonathan are, so make it understandable.
Don't worry. Yeah, so like just to show like a more simple, even a simpler thing. So let me find RAM, right? It's really like a welcome package for Ethereum, right? Blockchain is a complicated thing, and what we want is to give every new user, they should get a username, which is like basic in everywhere else, but in the blockchain space, it's very rare for you to get a username. We want everyone to have a multi-sig, which means that your key and your funds are secure by multiple keys in multiple places in multiple devices. And we want the users to have to own a token that is not Ether. So we want users to have like money that is better for them, right? And email recovery and identity. So it's basically like we get things that are advanced, it is only accessible usually to advanced users, and we want to give them to everyone on their first sign up, right? And as Jonathan just said, there are other solutions that try to do that, right? So the way we see the market, it's very simple. Sorry?
Yeah, you nailed it. That's the whole. There's the list.
But here's the thing, right? Down on the bottom right, you find like what is I call like the traditional way to get into crypto, which is like it's MetaMask is the most popular in Ethereum, but it's how most Bitcoin wallets work, is how most services work, is the idea that you have a single key, or maybe you have a key like a bunch of keys derived from a single passphrase, and you have to keep that key or that passphrase with your life, like as if that passphrase was worth everything that you had, because that's exactly what it is, right? That single passphrase, if you lose it, you lose access to everything. If you give it to someone, to the wrong guy, then that person can get everything, and that's super dangerous, right? And there are people who are building solutions for that try to make the onboarding as easy as any Web2 like in any traditional Web2 provider, right? Which is like people like Fortmatic and Portis. And the way they do that, they just bring the solution and they bring that problem of key management and put it on the cloud. So that allows you to have things like just you sign up with username and password, you just click through the website and you get something. But the problem is that you're just pushing the problem to the cloud, because now suddenly the cloud is custodial of your keys. And if they usually they try to do it in an encrypted way so that they cannot steal your keys. But if they go down, like you lose your access to your keys, right? If Portis and Fortmatics disappear, then it's hopefully you had a backup, and then you can go back to the bottom corner with MetaMask and try to get access to it. There are some modern solutions, right? And in the past years, there's a new technology in the blockchain, basically in Ethereum, and like we helped also set the standards. We helped set the first conferences about it, and it's called meta transactions, which is the idea that you should be able to interact with a blockchain indirectly through someone else that is through a relayer, where you sign a message saying, this is what I want to do. You give it to a relayer, and that relayer will be the one that's going to pay your fees. That relayer will have to issue, like, to have to connect to the blockchain and do a lot of the technical stuff. And so you don't actually have to have any funds in that particular like message that you sign. And if you see, like, a great example is and there are some great wallets that create some very good UX, like Argent, which is like a lovely wallet. But the problem with that is that, like, Argent spend millions and months just building a very good solution for themselves, and they want to have everything have to go through the wallet. Like the Argent experience and those wallets experiences is you go to our experience and everything happens through us. So the first thing you need to do whenever you sign up is download our thing, right? Or like if you want to use an app, just first download that other app. And I think that's the wrong experience for developers. Most developers, when they want to sign someone up, like if you're using Twitter, I don't ask you, hey, can you go to Facebook, create an account on Facebook, and then come back to Twitter, right? Or then come back to my game. Like, you really want to be able to sign users up directly from where you are. So that's what we're trying to do. We want to offer like a great experience, but for any third party developers, meaning that you're just going into whatever app you found via social media, whatever app you found on Google, and I want you to have the full experience of signing up from that app. And the cool thing that we want to do is that once you sign up in that app, in any app that is compatible, your key and your login can be reused in multiple places, right? So you sign up in application A, now you can use the same username and the same connection to log in into application B. You can use the same thing to log in into your devices, into your iPad, into your phone. And suddenly, as you do that, the more you log in into other, and that's how we are different from like Portis and Fortmatic, because the more you log in into multiple devices, the more you log in into multiple apps, the more secure is your wallet. Because technically what is happening is that every single connection is a different key. And your funds are not held by one key, but by a multi-sig of all those connections. So let's say you lose your phone, you still have your laptop. You can recover your next phone through your laptop. Oh, you lost access to your prediction market, right? But you can still recover access to your prediction market through your other wallet, right? And that's sort of how we work technically.
Alex, how does the first signing happen? And Jonathan, pay full attention, because this is I really want to hear your feedback on Alex. But how does the first signing happen? Maybe show a demo.
Sure, perfect. So let's do that, right? So the interesting thing about the first sign in is that all I want to ask from the user is a username, right? I really want the user just to tell me, hey, give me a username and then from that username, like I will do everything else. So basically what should happen is that, like, once you start using Unilogin, is that just type, let's say, Satoshi or Jane Doe, wherever your username, and from that I can detect, okay, that's existing username. Oh, that's not, that's a new one. And from that I can help you fund, I can help you put it, like, I can connect you through credit cards or Apple Pay or anything like that. Just in this demo, I was using crypto just because it's what I had in that. And so I just typed my username. I got an address, and as soon as I found that address, boom, I'm on crypto, right? I already have a new account. I already have created a multi-sig account, and now I can, like, that's already the flow of kickback. That's not even our flow, right? You could probably skip that screen, and now you can already start interacting with the blockchain, and you can start already, like, doing signing things, like sign a message, right? You can sign a message or do other things like that. And
So
and
now,
of course,
now this kickback, if I put Ether on my account, I only need
exactly.
to access it with a username.
Exactly. So how do you go into a second device, right? Because I didn't have a password or anything like that, right? You just go on that second app. I'm using like a different app by a different provider on a phone now. And all I need to do now is that, like, I need to type my name, same name there, and I can detect, oh, okay, Jane Doe exists already, right? So so how do I connect to that? You go back to your original app that you provided, and you're gonna get a notification and say, hey, is that person you, or are you the, like, are you trying to connect to this? And you just say yes. And as soon as you say yes, we just confirm, like,
What happens when you lose that first? What does the recovery look like?
okay. So first, the idea here is that, like, if so so just to understand a better background, like, the minute that you did that, the connection, you now have, like, a phone and you have a browser,
No, but
right?
let's
So you already
reverse
have
it. I
two.
started with the phone. I made the
Sure.
account with my phone. Then I lost my phone in a boating accident, and now I want to log in on a website. Now what do I do?
You lost your, like, boating accident it really means that you've been on the space for a while. But here's the so of course, the first time you sign up, it means that you have a multi-sig with a single confirmation, with a single key. And that's true. If you lose that single key, then you lose access to that, unless you have other recovery. So we offer you other recovery methods. We offer you a way in which you can download a PDF, in which you can use social recovery to connect to other people. But
Okay.
that will mean that you have to go through those steps. If you
Uh-huh.
lost it before you did any of those recovery process, that's, I mean, that's okay, but also you probably didn't have a lot of value on it, right? One of the things
Yeah.
that we try to do is,
Well, the
as we
name
see
might be
that you,
valuable. You know, it's if I want unity across all my social accounts, then the name is probably the most valuable thing at that stage.
yeah, but I mean, the name, so the name is a subdomain, right? You're not, so yeah, I mean, the name could be valuable, but if you really care about that name, and then you should, like, there are multiple ways in which we can help you on the recovery side, right? But what the most important thing is, really, we are pushing you to have, like, sign on multiple devices, sign on multiple apps, and then you get to be, and then, like, the more you do it, the more secure you'll be, right? And then
Who?
one,
Two more questions. Sorry to interrupt.
sure.
Who's paying for the gas for everything that just happened on chain with account, with account creation? And then the second thing is, how do you make money?
So two great questions, right? So first of all, uh, anyone can be paying for the gas, right? That is, so in that particular video, like, what we basically did is we got, like, we like So we were waiting for the user to put funds on his wallet, and that could go in any way. That fund's going to be in Ether, that fund's going to be in DAI, and then we could just simply discount from that to create an account and pay for the gas. But you could do, if you're an app developer and you want to subsidize your users, you want to pay their gas for you, that's a service that we offer. And that is sort of like and that is in short version, basically the way we make money, because so anyone can connect to Unilogin, anyone can install the Unilogin library and allow their users to pay it with Ether or DAI, and there will be an awesome web UI. But let's say that you don't want your users to have a Unilogin Jonathan.unilogin name. You want your users to have a Jonathan.mycompany.app name. You want your users not to worry even about not paying any gas at all. You want users to have like 10x, like 20 transactions free per month. Maybe you want your users to pay, maybe they will subscribe to your service via credit card and you subsidize their transactions. Maybe you have your own token that you sold on a crowd sale or an ICO, and you want that to be the thing that is used to pay transactions, right? And maybe you don't even want to the Unilogin brand to appear anywhere. You just want the idea that everything is happening to your app, and then you need a premium account for that, right? You need a premium access to our relayer, to our connection to the network, to the way that we ping we keep track of where devices are, so you can send notifications, and that's part of our proprietary IP that we give access to. So it's really a software as a service model.
Got it. And this is all only for Ethereum. Is there any plans for this to support other chains as well, or even like a fork of this to support other chains if it's not unified?
So right now we are focusing on Ethereum, basically because Ethereum is where all the apps are. But luckily, Ethereum, like all the other like Ethereum competitors, are doing something which I think is smart. Most of them are compatible with the EVM, which means that the core technology of Ethereum, of the core code of everything that we are building, can be forked to any other EVM compatible chain. And because ENS, which is the also like the also basic logic is that every time you own a name and we attach keys to the name. We could attach keys also to even other chains that don't support smart contracts. We could be attaching Bitcoin keys to your name, which is supported already by ENS. So in theory, we could even like allow you to sign in using Bitcoin or any other non-EVM chain. So it's not something that we are working right now because we simply don't see the market demanding it, but we could adapt to that very quickly.
And does it support 721s and 1155s?
The EAP, you
NFT
mean?
sets, yeah, NFTs.
Yes, we can support NFTs.
Cool.
Jonathan's asking, I believe, because Jonathan's representing also Lion Chain Capital, right?
Yep.
Is that where you're coming from? Perhaps tell Alex a little bit about Lion Chain.
Sure. So we're a crypto investment fund. So we have we're very familiar with the space that you're operating in the more advanced wallets. I know the Argent team well, and the Wallet Connect team well, and a number of the other guys that you mentioned here. And, I think monetization is the biggest challenge in what you're doing. I do see that you have a unique approach from, I would call these the smart wallets, or the smart authentication systems. This is something that it's an industry. It's probably about a year and a half old. I'm curious more about your team, your funding to date, your burn rate, and how much you're raising, and what you plan on accomplishing with that money that you raise.
Okay, so we have a very lean team. We basically run from Poland. We are in Delaware. Like we are registered in Delaware, but most of the team is in Poland, not because we're outsourcing it from Poland, but because my co-founder is Polish and he has already exited the company there by like building software services. So he has a lot of experience building software in Poland. And
Jonathan, you should meet Marek. He's got a similar background to you.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd love to
So
exchange info.
it's about 5 people in total, everyone like working full time. I'm the only one who's down in Brazil. And we have a very short, we have a very lean team. And we were able to raise like a pre-seed round of about $200 with like basically founder, like angel investors with our own money and like a few grants that started the whole thing. And we still have about 1 year of runway, a little bit less than that, but like it's about 1 year of runway. So we are still healthy, but we would like to be able to like be more aggressive on that line. We are more aggressive on things, be able to start like doing things like sponsoring hackathons so that we can get developers to like test everything directly and things like that. So that's why we would love to raise like about $1 million. With of course like it was a high, we were trying a higher amount in the beginning, but everyone's adapting to COVID, and so that's basically like what we aim in the funding round, right? To get to raise the first $1 million to like expand the team beyond more aggressive on that line, things like that.
Very cool. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about it.
We can set up later on another call. That's not a problem.
One other question is about privacy. One of the challenges with ENS that Argent faces is once I've interacted publicly with any of these apps, then my entire financial history within the ecosystem is now public information, which a traditional wallet like MetaMask has pseudo anonymity, which can make it more comfortable for me to interact with dApps. I'm curious if you have any thoughts about ways to address that. I mean, it's a bigger issue for Ethereum as a whole, but have you thought about that coming forward as an identity, as a feature?
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? I agree that this is a big problem. I disagree that MetaMask is much better because as you just said, it is really like a problem with Ethereum as a whole, right? And once everyone has your address or one of your addresses, you can just follow the money and follow one of the things. And even if you're trying to, there's even a difference with Ethereum than Bitcoin, is that like in Bitcoin, all you're doing, you're just like sending Bitcoin around. In Ethereum, you're always interacting with smart contracts, and even if you're using tokens to try to hide your privacy or using a mixer, there's still the gas issue that will review you, because you always need to pay the gas for every transaction. And if you cannot trace like the token, you can always check, okay, who's paying the gas for that transaction. And I think that by migrating to multi-sigs, that with meta transactions, we can try to improve that a little bit, in the sense that I can, like, if you want, what you could have is, you could just have in your account, you could have no Ether, no DAI, just like privacy tokens, just Tornado Cash notes that you keep for yourself, and you use the relayer to pay your gas for you, right? So that's something that could be that could directly improve your privacy. It's not great right now because those like, there are very few privacy tokens, and like Tornado Cash is not, but it's not great. But my point is that I think that moving everyone to multi-sigs and meta transactions will be an improvement in privacy.
Alex, Jonathan was asking before on the actual market and the go-to market. So who are actually those guys who are burning, waiting for your solution? can you describe who that is in the market and whom you want to engage with to get this going?
Myself.
So
Could
so
well
here's
be.
the thing, right?
Yeah.
So one interesting aspect of the blockchain is that like a lot of people think like that blockchain really peaked in 2000, like 2 to 3 years ago, which is true in terms of prices, right? We've reached levels of prices in like 2 years ago that we haven't seen since. But here's a very interesting thing about like development has not been following price. Like we've only seen like the development, like the amount of development happening on Ethereum grow and grow. Like and like people are deploying more apps and more things in the past 2 years than even existed 3 years ago, right? The state of the network today is completely different than it was during the bubble and during the peak. So developers are out there, developers are building stuff, but they are just not seeing their users. What most developers find is that they have so what most developers see is that they find a graph that sort of looks like this, which is that basically like they, as soon as they ask that they as soon as anyone is interested in their app and they ask you, hey, can you download this extension? Can you do this little thing for me? Can you write down a seed phrase? Can you go and download this app from the App Store? You lose 90% of your users. And that's like, those are real numbers. And then after that, like it's not only that, then you have to ask, then you go to an exchange. Do you have Ether? Can you buy Ether on exchange? Can you like go there and do that other stuff? Can you have to understand all of those things? Like you're losing like 90% of your users in almost every single one of those steps. And that's why I believe like we have right now in blockchain a problem of like just user retention. And that's really like who's having that pain. Like developers who are trying to build a cool app that don't want to spend, that really are having problems with user retention, and just users in general that are curious about blockchain and want to play the game, they want to play with NFTs and collectibles and prediction markets, that don't want to be like this super advanced user.
Yeah. Tell me, Alex, currently developers that are developing the apps on Ethereum, how much resources do they spend on the onboarding, on the issue that you actually would solve for them?
So from my experience, what I see is that like they have two options, right? Either they focus on building their app or they focus on building their onboarding, right? The only good places that have good onboarding are those apps that really focus basically only on onboarding, right? And I think like I love the Origin example. Origin is just the wallet, right? Imagine having to build your whole Origin. Imagine having to build the whole Origin interface every time you just want to build like a prediction worker, just want to build a game, and that has been my experience.
Mm-hmm.
How far are you guys along?
So we've been on mainnet for many months now, but like we've been working on making the developer experience and signing up and integrating easier and easier. So just like we've been on mainnet with a single provider, and now like we have currently three apps using our system, which is we just signed up like this month, a few weeks ago, which is Kickback and Knows is Safe, right? So those are the two apps where you can go there right now, and which are the apps that I showed on the demo. Those are real apps that you can go right now and try to get it for try to test it out for yourself. And now we have like a long list of other people who like over 100 people who've interacted with that, like on that have signed up on our waiting list, who we've been talking about, and that we want to like onboard and try to integrate in our app, right? So that's what we're doing. We already launched the app. It's already on mainnet, and now we are just focused on the onboarding experience for developers, in fact.
How difficult is it, or time consuming is it for you guys to onboard the developers?
So ideally, it should be something that takes zero time from us, and we even have like on our webpage, we have like a little configuration settings where you choose, hey, I use this sort of like npm, I use npm, I use yard, and you click a bunch of things, and we just give you like the link. But our experience, we still have to do a lot of hold handling with developers. And one of the things, and one of the nice things, is that there are other like onboarding solutions, like onboarding aggregator solutions, and that we found out by just being on them, it's a lot easier. So for if you're already using an onboarding aggregation solution, all you need to do is add our name to it, and that's one of the things that will help.
So do you plan to roll out, or how do you plan to roll out? Do you want like to start with one big customer, a few big exchanges perhaps, or really go one by one, app by app?
We are doing it one by one, and we are trying to focus on a few like big name apps like Major Wallet, My Crypto, and Compound, things like that. We want to be on those so that you, and so basically you get like, so all you need to do is like once the user creates an account, we need to tell them, hey, do you know that that account you just created on My Crypto you can also use on Major Wallet?
Cool. And one more thing from me. If I lose my phone, my mobile phone, can I quickly go to my laptop and lock the account?
Yes, if you have already logged into your laptop, if you have already like keys on your laptop, you should. The way we see things is that like most users have a device, like have multiple devices already, right? You have your laptop, you have your phone. A lot of people also have a tablet or extra things, and so we have the logic of one key per app per device. So if you use 2 to 3 apps in your device, and if you have 2 to 3 devices, it should be easy to get a user to have like a 5, a 7, a 9 keys in their multi-sig, right? Which sounds complicated. Oh my God, you want all your users to have a 3 out of 9 multi-sig, which is like a super advanced thing in most cases. But it's the one thing that you want like to be the basic, like that every user should start by having maybe a 2 out of 7 multi-sig.
Awesome. It's been a bit of a geeky session. You left the business guys a bit speechless. I can understand that. We got one comment on our live stream that Jonathan's great. So Jonathan, they loved you. So thank you for that. Are there any last minute questions? You were good. Thomas, you are on mute. Sorry.
Usually my key here works. So I just want to say thank Jonathan for his comments, because he was certainly our quarterback here in this round.
No. Normally, I let him run away and do it because we have him on board. But normally, I would ask Alex to really simplify it. If you look at some of the previous sessions that he had, it's something Alex is working on. It's a process, how to simplify it. At the end of the day, doing business is working with people, and you need to be able to cater to all levels of people. I'm very excited personally about this solution. I dread going to my different crypto accounts every time because I just don't remember passwords, don't remember where I left the private keys and stuff like that. It would be awesome if I could just do it with Ram Shoham at Accelerator Frankfurt or something like that. So
Ram, try to explain this whole complex things to like in simpler terms has been my life for the last 5 years.
At the end of the day, the password is my phone. So that's it. Only with this phone I can access my bank account. And then it's this computer. That's the second one. So if I lose the phone, I can come to the computer and say, please lock the phone.
I use one password, and that's on all kinds of different devices.
So that's very safe, Thomas. and on top of that, your one password is centrally stored with every app that you have. So if Facebook gets hacked or another app that you have gets hacked, they will have that one password for all the different apps that you have. Well, what Unilogin does is decentralized. It's not stored with Unilogin, it's basically stored on the blockchain. And that's practically awesome.
But I mean, one password is an app. I don't have one password. I have the app that's called One Password that has all my passwords, but it's on the cloud, it's on the iPhone, it's on the iPad, it's on the Mac. So whatever I lose, I'll find it back. So I haven't seen quite now, but I'm so distant from this discussion what the actual extra value is. But once Alex has caught me as a user, I think he has done a great job.
Sure, thank you for the comments, guys. Alex, thank you for your time. Jonathan, thanks for being. I know how super busy you are. So thanks for coming. Dieter, Carl, the same. If you can, send me also some of your feedback. We will debrief with Unilogin. And that's it from us. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Commercial break.